What's up, guys? Welcome back to another review this week. I hope you're doing well. Comment in the chat, let me know that you're watching this live. I would appreciate. We'll be starting in just a minute. Just want to finish a few things here, and I'll be sharing some trades with you today on the charts. Some trades that happened last week, kind of a review of the pair that I'm looking at as well, and we'll just be going with that. So I want to kind of put an emphasis on trades that I've taken last week, so that you guys maybe learn what I do, learn what I look at in the market. And yeah, that's the plan for today. So I'm gonna start, and you guys are gonna join me later, which is totally fun. You guys can blow in the chat if you have any question, of course. I want to go through first of all trades from last week, and then we'll look at the pairs that I look at this week. Okay, so I'm gonna share my screen over here, and the first thing I'll start with is for you guys that have the trading assistant, right? The tool that we provide, you'll get something like this on your Telegram, right? Every week. So here's like the alerts that you can get if you set up this on your MT4 platform. The one I want to show you is the one here on EuroCAD. So I've talked about this earlier. The trade was, we had two trades set up. We had one over here, one over here. If you won the first trade, you'll have to enter the second one. Okay. So we'll go on the chart. Basically, if you want to get the trading assistant like we have, you get all the criteria to enter your trade, right? So here you will get the setup, the details, stop loss entry, and all that stuff, which is something that I use to get loads of my trades, and we'll have a link below for that. But so basically, okay, the thing I want to show you guys is on the chart. We'll get to that over here. I'll go on Euro AUD. This is still a trade that's going on right now. Okay, so basically we are at the resistance area here at 1.65, 1.60 to 65, quite a big range. And that's where we can look for bearish trades. Okay, so we've looked at this the past few weeks, and that's a good area to look for bearish trades at this zone. Now price came in that zone. I think we had a few setup over here that were not good setup, but now price comes like further in the zone, and that's when you want to start to look at lower time frame. Okay, that's kind of what I do. I prefer multiple time frame as opposed to only one. So I'm gonna go on the forward chart and the 1 hour chart to look for a setup, and then I'll go here and I see we have this setup over here. Okay, which is basically the setup I look for, which is a break of the Bollinger Band by first candlestick over here. So break of the Bollinger Band by bullish candlestick, engulfing candle, engulfing the complete candlestick. Then what you do is you enter below the low, stop loss above the high, and you're at the risk of, in my case, 1-to-1 and 3-to-1. Okay, I use 2 take profits. One would be over here. I think we calculated this before, or maybe a little bit closer, doesn't matter. And one over here. Okay, the second take profit. So right now, price hit the first one. We are kind of break even on this based on the fact that I don't move my stop loss, but price reached the first take profit, so half is out of the trade, and now we have one more half in the trade, okay, on that pair. So that's kind of a setup. That's kind of what happens. And if you were to re-enter over here, this is like another setup we had, the one I showed you guys earlier. This is for me less reliable, and that's why when you get these alerts here, whatever alert you get, whatever setup you see, you can use this tool or not. So whatever you get here, it might not be a good setup. Right over here, it's like we have I think this might be like a gap, because we kind of gap up, or we gap down, we come back up, and then we come down. Okay, so not a good setup in my case, so I would not take that trade, but that first one here was totally fun. Okay, so you just have to be able to kind of look at the trade. Does it fit the rule? Because the alert you get might fit, they might not be exactly right, and that's why you want to filter by yourself. Okay, so that's it for this trade. So that's Euro AUD. That was the trade last week, still open. So just to update you guys on what happened. And the other one I want to show you is on JPY, which is also a trade that was open last week. Over here, so the opposite right there. Quite a big engulfing over here, but this wouldn't be a valid setup, and I'll show you why after. Okay, so JPY was coming back to a support area here at 140, a round number, and that's where you want to look for bullish trades, because we've been bouncing here a few times in the past. Strong support. So when price goes here, you want to look for bullish trades, okay, not bearish trade, in my opinion. Now what you do with this is that you look for setup on lower time frame, the 1 hour chart and the 4 hour chart, like I prefer. You could use different time frame, that's totally fun. And then we get this nice engulfing candle over here, break of the Bollinger Band, strong engulfing candle, closing beyond the high of the previous one. And that's where you enter beyond, so above the high, stop loss below the low. and reward to risk of 1-1 and 3-1. Now we've been here. This is probably like around a little bit more than 1-1, so the first half is closed. But we have to wait for the second half to reach the second take profit. Okay, we had a losing trade over here, but this is like -1R, and this is like -2R if you win that trade. Okay, so it kind of adds up and you're fine. So because one half is at 1-1, the other half is at 3-1. So that's like two of reward for that trade. So we'll see what happens. It doesn't matter. It's always like a numbers game, but that's it. And the reason why I don't panic with this setup over here is that basically this wouldn't be a setup that I enter, based on the fact that, as you can see, price did an engulfing. Okay, good engulfing, pretty strong. But we get to a point where we are near the middle band, and I would never enter a trade beyond the middle band. Okay, so I would never enter a short below the middle band, and I would never enter a long above the middle band, because if you do this, then you don't have much room for profit. Like, you enter here, and then you expect to place your stop loss like above the high over here. So do this times 3. That's gonna be like really big of a stop loss, and much bigger of a take profit to be able to get some profit. So that doesn't make sense to me. I will not enter a trade beyond the middle band of the Bollinger Band. Okay, that's just my rule, and so far it seems like it works well in my case with the pair trade, with the pairs that I trade. Okay, so that's it for these trades. I'll kind of take a moment to stop and welcome you guys that just came in the meantime. Let me find back my chat. Awesome, guys. I see we have Trade Jason. Awesome. I'm from Brazil. This is Jonathan. Welcome. What's up? Rebel. Nice. Dibble. Iceman. What's up? Awesome. Cool. Jonathan was asking one question. Do you look at market structures to see if the 3-1 has room to move? No, I don't, because I have multiple take profit. I still think about the fact that it might work, it might not work out. The only rule I have is the one where I don't enter beyond the middle band. Okay, that's the only rule I have. Other than that, price could always go like 3-1, 4-1. Doesn't matter. So that's why I see it as like a numbers game. Sometimes it will, sometimes it won't. But I believe we can never predict for sure whether price will go to 3-1 or not. It's really hard to predict. So if you put your position there, then that's fine. Just let it run, and you'll see what happens. So that's kind of what I think about it. But you could look at it if you want, kind of put your stop loss in a place, and then really look carefully if you're going to be able to get 3-1 or whatever. But that's just more work, and that's maybe more room for error. Okay, you might think that it cannot reach 3-1, and then it reaches 3-1 after. So you never know. Okay. So now what I will do, guys, is I want to do a quick look at the whole list of pairs that I have. And I want you to comment below again in the chat if you have any question, of course. I'll be looking into your question just after. Link for the trading assistant if you want to get these alerts, either customized for you or not, like customized for you or the ones that I get, the same strategy I have. That's going to be the link below for that. It's linked there. Just a kind of a tool to be able to automate things more and get more freedom, which is something that really helped me a lot. So, yeah. AUD CAD. So AUD CAD is at the zone this week. And I was just going to weekly chart. It's going to be easier. Weekly chart, I said. There we go. So AUD CAD is at the zone this week. Basically, the review I do in the beginning of the week is always only the bigger time frame. And then throughout the day, if I want to look at the chart, I'm going to put the 3-layer of chart, the 3 kind of thing of chart. And then I'll look at all the time frame at the same time. Okay. But for the beginning of the week, only one time frame, the bigger one, to look at the zones. And when you have this clear, then you're usually fine. Okay. AUD CAD, so strong support. We said this last week. It's been there for like 2, 3, so pretty much 4 weeks. Okay. We'll look for bullish trades. AUD JPY is going back up, but it's near a zone. It entered the zone, came back up, which is fine. Let me see here if we have any setup on this. Any bullish trade in the past week or so. Yeah, we did have a setup over here. So I'm not sure what happened with this one. Either we're not 5 pip beyond the high. My rule is like 5 pip beyond the high to enter. So I'm not sure about that, but I don't think I've entered that trade. because otherwise that's like a really good trade. Okay, so that could have been a good trade. And on the forward chart, we didn't have any trade, so that's fine. You can look for more setup once it comes back to the zone. Okay, price might just like push above a little bit, come back down. That's where you look for more setup. Okay. AUD and ZD is, oh, I need to flag this. It's near a support, coming back to the support at 1.04. Good place to look for bullish trades to the upside. So bullish trade, yeah. And yeah, so now price, yeah, it's just there. So we'll see what happens. Good place to look for bullish trades. But keep in mind these pairs, the first like 4 ones in my list, are all going to be correlated a little bit. So you want to kind of pick the one that's strongest or split your risk. That's how you deal with correlation. Okay, that's like the 2 ways. There's multiple ways. But for me, I'm going to probably split my risk if I trade manually. With algos, I just take like all the trades. Doesn't matter, but it's more risk. Okay, you just gotta understand that. AUD USD, it's back to a support. Also, the same thing. So we'll look for bullish trades. CAD CHF is exiting the zone here at 174. I believe what I traded on this last week, if I remember well. Yes, we had no, it's not a trade. Okay, so I'm probably mixing up with the pair, but so we didn't have any trade on this last week. No. Okay. So we'll see what happens on this pair. Okay, so you basically want to wait for price to hit back to the level to get some trades set up. Do for bullish trades, in my opinion. Okay, of course. You might have something different, and if you trade something different, comment below in the chat, let me know, and I will be curious to hear and to get back to you after. Okay, so Euro AUD, same thing as before. I showed this earlier, so we want to look for bearish trades. I'm already in a trade, so I won't take more, but if you're not in a trade, you could look for bearish trades, in my opinion, and see what happens on this pair. Okay, Euro CAD is getting too tight, although now it's cool because it's like breaking down. You see how this is a big shift from the past weeks. The past weeks were all like small candlestick with fairly big wicks for the range of for the whole candlestick, and now we get this big bearish candlestick, which is kind of a change. So we'll see what happens. I think price might kind of fail this level here at 1.50 and go back down here to 1.40. But that's something that we'll have to look at. Okay, not sure yet. Euro JP is going back to 0.21, a resistance area here. That's pretty strong. You want to look for bearish trades there. It's not there yet, but once it gets there, I'll flag it and look at it more closely. Okay. Euro USD is still doing like some nonsense, although the candlesticks are getting bigger, which is a good sign. Sign that the volatility or the range is going to come back in the market. That's going to be good to look at. But for now, it's still like not really clear where we're heading and what zones we have. So I'll kind of step away and wait to trade this pair. JP CAD is between 2 zones. Here's a very intermediate zone, which I'm not trading. It's like two in between. But once price get to this zone here at 1.60, then I'll be looking to trade that zone, to trade that pair in that zone, okay, to the upside as a reversal trade. GPCHF, same thing as JP CAD, not at the zone yet, and actually we could remove this letter over here. But so I want to wait for price to hit the zone at 1.22 and look for bullish trades to the upside. Okay, so reversal trade on this also, and that's a pretty good zone also, like the other pairs before. These 2 pairs are correlated, of course. Same with JPY, also in a bullish zone. So you want to look for bullish trades, but they're all correlated. JPNZD is coming back to, looks like it's at the zone. Nice, perfect. So I'll flag this. That's already flagged. Yeah, coming back to 1.88, looking for bullish trades here, and looks like, I'm not sure if we're gonna have something. Yeah, not yet, but we might have some good trades on this. Okay, this pair I kind of like it. The stats have been good so far, so we can look for bullish trades on this pair, I believe. JPUSD is between 2 zones, kind of an intermediate zone over here, not very strong. So I'm gonna wait for the major zone here at 1.20. Or the one at 1.31, okay, the resistance area over here. And the decad while it loads. Let's see. So between two zones, although we're pretty close to this one here at 0.86, so please look for bullish trades. We're not there yet, but we're definitely not far, so we can look for bullish trades on this pair. Okay, I'm gonna flag this. Yeah, it's already flagged. Perfect, awesome. S&P, I don't trade this. Use the CAD. Oh, that's nice. Going back to a support area here at 1.31. You see how that does. That's pretty interesting because I didn't see this the past week. But yeah, we'll be able to look for bullish trades on this pair now. And this is also a good pair. Stats a bit good for me on that pair, so that's pretty interesting. And if that pair is at this level, probably that USD SGD can be at the level too, because these pairs are really close. USD JPY is in between two zones, but we're gonna wait for this. USD SGD, it's probably gonna be similar to USD CAD. Okay, it's not at the zone yet, but it's close. So once it gets back to 1.34, that's where you want to look for bullish trades. Okay, these pairs, USD CAD and USD SGD, are really correlated, and I prefer USD SGD, so this is my favorite. But yeah, it's just my personal favorite. It kind of moves well. The stats are really good. So yeah, I'm gonna wait for this to hit the zone at 1.34. Okay, and last week we had someone ask about gold, or 2 weeks ago. I'm gonna kind of look. Yeah, so gold, like last week, broke out of the range, meaning that the next one you look at if you want to short is one so 1530. Yeah, that's like the next zone, and in between there's no really big trade to take. It's like there's no zone in between, so you want to wait for that zone, I believe. Okay, so I'm gonna go back on the chat, just see what you guys are up to, and it's awesome. Couscous, what's up? After you, so Trade Jason asked, after you take your first profit, do you move your stop loss to for the 3-to-1? No. So I used to move my stop loss, but based on the fact that this is a reversal strategy, I would get stepped out too often, so I don't move my stop loss either at all now. It's only the to take profit, and that's it. Okay. Please explain how you place multiple take profit targets using TradingView. I've done a video on that in the past. Type in how to use partial take profit, and you'll find my video easily on YouTube. So it's pretty simple. Basically, the short answer is to take 2 orders. Okay, that's pretty simple. Lloyd, what's up? Cool, awesome. Wait, so Lloyd was saying, if you see a good, it looks like I'll be saying for the academy soon. That's awesome. If you see a good pattern developing not in your highlighted zone, will you still take it? Basically, no. Well, so the zones in the chart, I'll just show you guys quickly. Okay, the zones in the charts are basically like pick a zone that's like pick a chart at the zone. So let's say the zones in the chart, like these. Okay, the ones that are like highlighted, the boxes. These are the zones that I have on my algo. So it's just for me to kind of remember, oh, the algo has a zone here. And if I surprise at the major zone, but not having a box like this, then it means that there's no zone for my algo. So I need to kind of modify that and fix it. So this is a support zone. This would be a resistance zone. Okay, and I might expand them, but if I expand them here, I want to kind of go back on the algo and fix them too to make sure that they're equal. So it's just like for me to know like what zones I have in my algo and modify them if need be. Okay, that's like the purpose. So here on AUD JPY, you're gonna have a support here. This is not a zone. This is just a box on my chart, not a zone on my algo, because it's not the right color. But so I only have one zone here for now. I could add one here, and I would just like add one, put it here, put on my algo at the same time, so I know like that they are the same. Okay, so I would only trade in these zones. Well, the algo would only take trade at these zones. Then if I modify the zones, it's gonna vary, of course, and I can modify, extend a little bit, or retract a little bit if need be. But if not, I don't take trades outside those zones. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Awesome. So Jonathan says on GP and ZD, you've marked the 1.88 area and price went below and pushed back. Now that price is reaching the level again, would you trade it in the 1.8 area or where the previous leg went to? So let's go back on this. Do this. GP over here. Okay, this is good. So, okay, I see. So price came back up, came back down, right? And this is the zone we're looking at, 1.88. But price came back over here instead. Now, what this means is that I would probably like not. So I would still keep that zone. It's like that's the good zone we have in the past, because this is a major zone. But what I'll do is I'll adjust my kind of box over here. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of look at the parameters here. So right now we have the low of this is 1.87047. So I might still take I might modify it to put it lower. Okay. So I might say, well, I'll put it over here. And if I see price going back here and having no setup, and I could kind of extend the zone until price gets there. Okay. So I will still kind of look at the whole thing because we've been here in the past. Okay. But I know that price will probably kind of. I'm pretty sure that price is gonna reverse here, not too late, and so that's I could expand the zone if I need to, okay. But for now, I'll just leave it here and wait to see what price does, of course, okay. Because the other thing is price could also go down, then you come back up and do a reversal setup over here near the zone. So we kind of need to see better what price is gonna do before we take a decision on this, okay. Let's see, let's go back. Okay, Jason says thank you, awesome, thanks. What is the most consecutive losses you have experienced? With the algo, it's never been many, but manually it's been about 12 losses, I think. Yeah, 12 losses in a row, which is pretty tough, but you kind of get back to it, and yeah, there's ways to go around it for sure. That's for Xenos. Trade Jason says, does your algo trade all pairs? No, it only trades pairs that are I've tested to be profitable first. So I kind of did my trading manually first. The pairs that were profitable, that's what my algo trades basically. Okay, and I might add a few more and see how they perform if I think that it will be profitable. But if I have doubts or if I'm not sure or if they're not profitable, then I won't take them. I won't trade with these, okay? Because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. And every 30 days I'll go back to see the list of pairs that the algo trade, and that's where I'll be able to evaluate whether some pairs I need to drop them and stop trading them. Because that's the principle. How many percent of risk do you take per trade? Usually 1% per trade to make it kind of low risk. You could risk more, but I just feel like low risk is better. So overall, yes, that's how it works. What is your opinion on fixed and variable risk? Couscous. I'm not sure what you're referring to as a fixed and variable. I guess it's fixed risk per trade or variable risk per trade. I think fixed is better, unless the only reason why I would kind of go with variable risk is if you know that a pair has a really good win rate compared to the other ones. So let's say your trading overall has a 40% win rate, but then one pair has a 80% win rate, so you win 80% of the time. Then it makes sense to kind of risk more on that pair because you're more likely to win. So you could do this, but that's a risk. Okay. Eric asked, what's your thought on GPUSD? We've covered that. GPUSD is between two zones, so I'm not gonna trade that for this week. Okay, so I want to wait for price to hit a zone, a support or resistance area, which we're not there yet. Okay. So guys, I gotta go on a call, so I hope that makes sense for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section or in the chat. I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Let me know if I can help in any way, of course. And I'll catch you guys back here tomorrow for another video. Ciao.